It is winter time here at RGM Livestock Company, and just herding the cattle to a feed stack of hay. Get a lot of questions about what do you feed these grass-fed cattle in the winter time. I want to clarify just some terminology, some technical stuff. When we say grass-fed, these animals are eating forage. Forage consists of plants from the grass family, the monocots, or order rather, and herbs, forbs, which can be broadleaves. It can be all sorts of forage. It will include green growing stuff out on pasture during the grazing season, and it will also include stored forages like hay. And right now this is part of their summer pasture I am moving them through. I'm herding these cattle right now about a mile to another part of the farm where I am going to show you how they are getting their feed supplementation for the winter months. These are the brood cows. So this is the conception, production, calf crop end of the operation. These animals are on hay. It's one of the ways I'm feeding them. And there's a lot of different ways you can feed hay, but this is winter time. As you can see, there just isn't any green grass growing. So what we do is we mow this forage in the summer. We let it dry and cure out in the field, and then we will go ahead and bale it, and then store the hay for winter time. So this is the winter source for the brood cow herd that is producing the calf crop. And this is a combination. This is mostly grass. There's some legumes in here as well, which would be a forb that's in the pea family. We try to do a combination of grasses and legumes based on the class of livestock that we're feeding. It's all based on energy, stored carbohydrates, and protein in the forage for whatever type of growth that we are asking of the cattle. And these are the yearling feeder cattle that are being fed out for harvested beef. Now they are on a later cutting of hay, meaning what the brood cows were on is the first cutting hay. It has plenty of the nutrition that age class of livestock needs. These cattle, you want them to grow and have a good marbling in their meat and finish and tenderness and gain weight appropriately. So you would do another cutting later in the summer on the same fields that is made up more of leaves and less seed heads and other plant structural compounds. So this hay is going to be higher in protein and energy to lead to better weight gain and a more tender meat. And so this particular hay that these animals are eating on is a high alfalfa content hay, what we'd call second cutting. So it would be harvested later in the summer after we do a first cutting, which is done, we start on that generally about the 1st of June. And then when these animals get the proper weight and finish on them, they will go into market, and we really pay a lot of attention to that so we have a good palatable tender product. And then they will go back out on pasture and start eating green grass probably about the 1st to 2nd week of May, depending on our growing season, how warm the spring is. It's imperative that the grass gets up and starts growing ahead of the cattle, so you get proper growth and energy to the roots so that those plants can make it all summer. And there's an optimal height that we want to start grazing at for both energy and protein intake, as well as protecting the plant for higher yield production for the rest of the year.